These three.
That's true, very much,
Okay, it's 7 o'clock or a little after, but Dean's ready to go. And Tina and I would like to thank all of you for coming this evening. I hope it's going to be a good, informative meeting, which I'm sure it will be. And before we get started, make sure everybody silence their phones. And we'll have the flag salute, and then Pastor Farber will lead us in prayer. I pledge allegiance.
Let's all stand together.
I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we love you. Lord, thank you for another day that you've given to us here. I know there are a lot of people struggling out west of here with the fires, and I pray for our first responders that are working even now. Give them protection and watch over them tonight. For these who may have lost property, I pray for them and their comfort as well. God, as we're gathered here tonight in this meeting, I pray that you'll give us wisdom and understanding, discernment, as we learn a little bit more about our community and the entities that are here. May you open up our eyes and open up our hearts as well to see those around us. Bless us and keep us. God, thank you for your many blessings. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. And before I introduce our guests, I want to get a few announcements made so I don't forget. First of all, our sex trafficking, human trafficking coordinator is here with a bunch of information on the back table if you want to see her before you leave tonight. And we've got a few special guests. We've got Lynette Hill, Scott Hill's wife, which is our senator, and a couple from American for Prosperity. I'm not sure, Harrison, where you're from now, but I know you were in Prosperity, and then Tate.
Still fight for freedom.
Yes. So, and did I miss anybody? Oh, Stacy Rogers, which is running for governor. So, and we have Paul Gebhardt from the school board, and Bonnie was a school board member, but we still like you, Bonnie. Did I miss anybody else, Tina? Okay. And also, I'm sure that our panel here will have some information to pass out to you. Lynette Hill has some flyers. For Scott, he will be having a town hall meeting on Saturday at Kansas Wesleyan at 10 o'clock in the morning. So if you want to hear Scott Hill at the town hall meeting, make sure you go Saturday morning at 10. And we will be passing a basket out when our guests are talking to collect for rent and for our streamer. It will be live streamed tonight. And upcoming events, next month, March the 17th, we will have Pat Proctor, which is the state representative for District 41, and also Michael Austin, which is a Kansas economist. So, and we will be here at the Carver Center at 7 o'clock. Do you have any other announcements, Tina? Did I catch it all? Okay. Okay, now for our guests here, we have Ambuck's Breakfast Bandits, and that is Jim Cram. And the Noon Bandits, Ambuck's is Karen Vidrickson. And DVAC is Jacqueline Lawrence. And Ashby House is Patrick Parker. And Salina Shares is Debbie Rivers. And they each have 12 minutes to speak. And then when they're all done, we are opening it for questions.
We have no cards.
No cards tonight.
No cards.
No cards. You can raise your hand and call on all of them or whoever you want to call on. Okay?
Who do you want to go first?
Patrick, would you want to start first?
Sure. You said you have 12 minutes to speak?
Well, thank you for coming out, everyone. My name is Patrick Parker. I'm the Director of Operations at Ashby House, and our Executive Director is Daryl Ragoon. Ashby House has been around Salina for 34 years, and we've been a lot of things over the years, full reintegrations as far as drug and alcohol. We've been sober living as far as drug and alcohol, and that was a partnership with CKF. But we've honed in on what we do good, and that is housing people. And what Ashby House does now is we fight the fight against homelessness in Salina, Kansas. And we focus primarily on women and women with children. So the first phase is our homeless shelter. And that is a house we've been operating out of for 34 years. It's a 4-bedroom house with 1 bathroom. So our capacity isn't that large. But it's just to take care of the basic needs, and that's food, shelter, and clothing. And it's not a flop house. It is a house that you're going to have to go along with the programming, and there's case management, and we're really trying to address the things that cause a person to be homeless in the first place. And that is our first phase. I don't know if any of you have seen any of the posts that we've had. We're working on a new shelter, trying to finish it, and that's going to double our capacity, and we'll use the old building as an overflow or resource center. But you know, we're small but mighty, but we're just trying to provide basic needs for those who need it, and get them off the street, and then address those things that made them homeless in the first place. The second phase is the apartment building that is right across the street from the Ashby House, and there's a 12 apartment building. And it's open for women and children and singles. So it's a small, minimal program fee that we charge for a person to be there. And the premise of that is a lot of people are either waiting for housing, or they came out of a program and could be drug and alcohol rehab. A safe place that's affordable, or you know, it's hard for them to find both of these. You might find an affordable place, but it's not safe. Or you might find a safe place, but it's not affordable. So we're trying to fill that gap with this building. These folks will need, a little bit more hand-holding, a little bit more time to get to the next step. And all of our programs are directed towards permanent housing. So in this building, you got case management, we have financial literacy classes, we have parenting classes. All of our programs have access to these classes and things like that. So we want to just try to add life skills to these folks that, maybe they haven't practiced this stuff. Things that we deem normal, it's not normal to them because they wasn't doing them. So the third phase is our transitional housing. It's a house, I don't know if you know exactly where Ashby House is located, but it's on Walnut Street. And this house is for single women. There's 5 beds in this house. And these folks are basically 6 months or less ready to get into permanent housing. Once again, they have access to case management and all the different life skills classes that we teach. And we don't need to hold their hands as much, but we're trying to get them acclimated for just being out there in the regular life, working and those kind of things. So we always try to advocate for housing for folks and working, things like I said that we deem normal. They haven't been doing these things. So we're just trying to get them into the groove of this. And our 4th phase is a HUD program, and it's the only program that we get HUD funds. And if you know anything about HUD, there's some hoops to jump through to qualify for this program. So those who qualify for this program, they can take advantage of the money that is going to help them get into an apartment or a house or whatever their permanent housing situation will be. It'll help them stay there, because I call this homelessness prevention, because it's going to help you stay in the place where you're at, or it's going to help you get into a place. So it's a lot to go through, but it's worth it. And like any of these things, money gets cut and you don't get fully funded for this, but we do what we can. We have enough money for 11 vouchers, and 8 of those we have full. So we pride ourselves on getting people from homelessness to permanent housing. We had a young lady in our supportive housing program able to save up $11,000 and she is a homeowner right now. So that makes us feel good because that is what the programs are set up for. We want a person to feel, you know, like they're accomplishing something and getting into permanent housing. You know, that's the first phase of it. But then we don't let them go from there. Our case management still keeps in contact with them. They're feel free for them to come back to our facility and talk to anybody they need to talk to. And that part there, the support, that is very important because, you know, people may fall back into bad habits and stuff like that, but we just don't want to cut them loose after they get into permanent housing. So we're funded primarily by private donors. Like I said, with the HUD program is government funds, and then we get some local ESG funds, but it's not very much. We have two major projects that we're trying to finish, and one I mentioned was the emergency shelter that it's going to double our capacity, and then the other one is we're renovating the apartment building. We got 2 of the floors renovated, and we're you know, still trying to get money to finish off both of these projects actually, and get that second floor or that third floor going. We didn't want to wait till we got the whole building done. As we got apartments ready, we got people in there. And so, you know, that's what it is. You know, we figured out we're good at housing people, and we don't want to overlap or duplicate services that other agencies do. So all of these agencies in town, we work pretty good together, and we try to, you know, all play nice in the same sandbox. And so it's about wrapping the people with the support. We'll take care of the housing. Central Kansas Mental Health will take care of that. CKF will take care of that. You know, all of us working together, because no person just is homeless for just one thing. So it's just about us, and you know what, that's why you see a lot of homeless people in this community coming from other communities, because Salina has these resources here. And you know, some people don't like to see that, but it's a fact. And so we just try to help them, absorb them into our community, and just try to make them a productive citizen that's doing the things that they need to do. I think that's about all I have, and I just appreciate you guys letting me come and talk with you today.
I just want to say thank you guys so much for having me here to represent DVAC. I go by Jackie, the sexual assault advocate. DVAC stands for Domestic Violence Association of Central Kansas. So we're able to provide services here at our Salina business office to Ellsworth, Sling County, and oh my gosh, I just blinked. Dickinson County, I apologize. And then we also have a Concordia office to help support survivors up in those upper counties, like Republic and Cloud and things like that. And so we offer a variety of services. We're free, we're confidential due to the Violence Against Women's Act. We're able to maintain that confidentiality, so if survivors come to us, we don't go tell the police, we don't go and tell their business out. That way they're able to come and share all that stuff. Sometimes that's kind of the barrier with helping survivors of abuse. And then we're also voluntary, so we don't, you know, send mail or anything to make them feel like they have to come and seek our services. They can come and go as they please. Some of the services that we have a 24-hour hotline where you're able to call and talk to a trained advocate on the line, whether it's just you need to get stuff off your chest, you need services, you need resources, we're there for you. We have a safe shelter for victims who are in imminent danger. And we also provide like one-on-one advocacy. So when you become a client of DVAC, you would be assigned like a case manager almost, but we're called advocates. And so we kind of go out there and we kind of see what resources are available for you to get back on your feet after experiencing something like domestic violence, sexual assault. We also help with human trafficking, stalking, elder abuse, teen dating violence, anything regarding that, we help survivors with that. And so it can be anything from you may experience sexual abuse when you're a kid and now you're wanting to seek resources for that, or something like right then and there that you need resources for. We have a therapist that comes every, I want to say Wednesday, to meet with clients and kind of talk things out privately. Like I said, you'd be assigned a primary advocate, and so they would be able to kind of help what resources are available or resources you want to obtain while seeking services with DVAC. We also have support groups, so we have a youth support group where kids are able to be kids after experiencing something traumatic. Jalen, he's a great youth advocate. I want to say in the summertime he did like a horse therapy type of thing for the kids, and then he took them fishing, things like that, just to let them be a kid again. I do a sexual assault support group, and that's every Thursday. I also can do one-on-one if group is scary, you don't want to, see other people and stuff. And we never make anyone share their story if they're not comfortable with that. We do like arts and crafts, we do meditation, things like that. And then Mary, she's transitioning to another position, but she does the domestic violence support group. Then she'll be our advocate Caitlin. And so they work on things like that. We also do like housing advocacy. So if you're needing housing support and things like that, we have a housing specialist that is able to work with you and work on budgeting and financials. That would be Jackie and Marlon. Probably won't remember their names, but I always like to give them credit where credit's due because they're amazing advocates. We all work as a team. Another thing that I love our agency about is we look like our world today. We have Black advocates, we have white advocates, Hispanic, biracial. We have advocates that speak Spanish, and we also have a language line, and I love that about that. We all work as a team to support what our world looks like today. And so if you're not comfortable with a certain advocate, or you want a male advocate or a female advocate, Black advocate, any type of advocate, we have an advocate available for you that's able to work with you in your culture. And so we're just trying to be very supportive, trying to get our name out there. I would say, 2025, we served about 860 advocates. I have it on my presentation. I had a presentation ready. I didn't know if y'all were I didn't know what this was gonna be like, but yeah, so we had 860 survivors that we were able to serve in 2025, and so I think like 730-ish, don't quote me on the numbers, are a little off, were domestic violence, 80 or 90 was sexual assault, we had 5 human trafficking, and then we had, I want to say 8 stalking. And so with my position, I'm able to go out and help the sexual assault, stalking, and the human trafficking. If the hospital gets a SANE start or anything like that and you want an advocate there, we have advocates available to just be that supportive person. You need a warm blanket, you need water, because SANE starts are widely very uncomfortable, and so we want to make sure that they're supported and keeping their dignity and things like that, kind of being that buffer between the nurse and the client and all types of those things. And so we're able to kind of support them through that transition. With elder abuse, Brandy is our program manager for that. She's great at helping transition people into nursing homes if they need that, or just any kind of facility that's going to meet the elderly's needs. And then I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Like I said, I had a whole presentation, but I'm trying to think. But yeah, we're just here to support people. We want people to thrive. We want people to get back on their feet after experiencing something traumatic as abuse. And also know we also serve secondary survivors. So if you witness something like abuse, witness a rape or anything like that, you're also able to seek services with DVAC and get that support that you need. And so I really do like that. And I love our agency. Like I said, we work as a team. We work together. No advocate is by themselves. If you have any questions or concerns or anything like that, you're able to go talk to our CEO, who's great, Andrea Quell. And so, yeah, I think that's it. If I missed anything, I apologize.
Hi, my name is Debbie Rivers. I'm the founder of Salina Shares, and thank you for an invitation back. I appreciate it. We have a very simple mission. It's to share our lives, our time, and our resources to enrich the lives of others. Now, that sounds very generic, and so what that does is it covers a lot of areas, and we can kind of pivot and change depending how we need to, depending on what's going on in our community. But basically, we have learned, this started out of my home, and so I've learned to stay in my lane too. What most people know us for is our Laundry Love program. Tonight, it's going on right now at Speedy Wash from 5 to 9. People can take their laundry and we'll pay for it. We also serve a meal at that one. And then the fourth Saturday of each month, we're in the other two laundromats, and we'll pay for people's laundry as well. That's our more public face, and that's what most people know us for. We actually have a building, an office downtown on 5th Street, and so many people don't know the rest of what we do. But probably the biggest thing that we do that takes up the most space in our building is that we provide resources for people starting over. So both Ashby House and DVAC send people to us when they're getting their own place, and we provide the home goods piece of that. So that would be just the basics of setting up a home, dishes, pots and pans, silverware, towels, sheets, just the real basics, but enough to be able to get them started. We also provide hygiene and cleaning supplies for them, whether they ask for it or not, knowing that they'll need that. And so our building, we take new and used donations to make that happen. And that was part of the influence in naming it Salina Shares. All we were doing at the time out of my home was a group of friends and I were sharing what we had when needs became available from our own homes, and realized how much we really do have. When people are downsizing, when they've lost a parent, when they're combining households, whatever that is, they'll bring those home goods to us, and they still have a lot of life in them and are really quite a blessing to the people who are starting over, not having to pay for all those things. So those are the two major things we do. We do a lot of other little things. Everything that we do is face-to-face. We really try and engage in our community. So in the summertime, we do play in the parks. The day before Thanksgiving, we have a Thanksgiving meal at our building. We help with Christmas. Just a lot of different things: hats, gloves, scarves through the winter, coats. So whatever needs we can meet, we do. We always say if we have it, we share it. And so that's it in a nutshell. Less than 12 minutes.
My name is Jim Cram. I'm a member of the Morning Ambuck Service Club. There's two chapters of Ambucks in Salina, the Morning Club and the New Network Club. Karen Vedrickson is here representing the New Network Club. We're somewhat duplicative, but I'll just talk a little bit about the Morning Club, and Karen can fill you in on what they do. The mission of Ambucks is independence for those with disabilities, so anything that relates to that is what we try to address the needs on, and there's plenty of needs for both of our groups to stay very busy. There's really 4 areas of assistance that the Morning Club address. The first one is Amtrikes, which the New Network also does. They're especially tricycles. They're specially designed for handicapped people, so if their legs don't work, they can make it work with their arms, or vice versa. We make them available for kids and for adults. We've helped veterans that have been injured. We've got people in small towns, and that's their source of transportation. They ride their Amtrak down to the quick shop to do their daily shopping and things. So that's a big deal, and I don't know exactly what the number is, but it's somewhere between 25 and 35. I'm thinking Amtrak's we give out every year, so it's a pretty big deal. Wheelchair ramps is unique to the Morning Club. We have a nice group of volunteers that feel good about providing that service. We have built 750 ramps in Salina. So if you drive down the street and you see a wooden wheelchair ramp, there's about a 95% chance that we put it in. We also take them out when they're done. We now label them and ask people to let us know when they don't need them anymore. We take them out and we can use almost every bit of that wood for somebody else. So we've gone from spending $30,000 a year on lumber to about half of that by recycling lumber. So that's been very helpful, because it was getting to be a little tough to come up with the cash to keep buying lumber. We also do medical and emergency assistance, medical equipment of whatever kind is needed. Emergency assistance, we had a recent request to help with a hotel room night, a family that had emergency need to get their child to Children's Mercy. They couldn't get in to Ronald McDonald House till the next night, so we were able to provide a night's hotel for them. So we do some of that kind of thing. And then the fourth area we help with is scholarships for therapists. That helps keeping the flow of physical therapists and any therapy kind of field. Once they get into the therapy field, they can apply for scholarship. AMBUCS has a national scholarship program, and we also run a local scholarship program, so that helps these students get through school. Most of our referrals come from caseworkers, which is wonderful because that means it's pretty well vetted. The caseworkers know what resources are available and what they need, and they've been really good about coming to us only if there's no other resource to take care of the situation. But we get referrals from Choices Network, OCCK, Infant Child Development, Independent Connection, therapists, hospitals, doctors, nursing homes. So we've kind of gotten known in that circle, and they come to us for whatever needs they are doing. Our source for money, we run a golf tournament, and that helps, that generates a nice, decent amount of money. We do rely heavily on getting grants from foundations. I think our club was established in 1959, and over the years we've established relationships with foundations to get grants from. We've got a good story. We don't have any paid staff. We don't have an office. We're all volunteers, and we do good stuff. So we have pretty good luck getting grants from foundation, and that's been super helpful. We couldn't do anything nearly like the morning club. Makes a little bit of token money by running the trash service at the River Festival and at the lead sled. It's kind of a fun thing for us to do, actually. It's a little bit silly to do the trash service, but it is. And then ever since the Greater Salina Community Foundation has been available, we've started a fund there. It took forever for it to grow to any significance. We participate in the Match Madness every year, so our members donate. Anytime we get a memorial contribution in memory of one of our members, we put that in the foundation and let it grow, and so we have earnings coming there that helps us with funding also. And I think that's all I have. Thank you.
Well, I could just say what he said. Well, I'm Karen Didrikson, and I'm the president of New Network AMBUCS, and I knew Jim was going to come and talk about Amtrikes, but I thought you needed to see what an Amtrak was. So I brought when I was an AMBUC in 2001, my first year, I went to a regional conference. There were 200 people in the room, and they brought in a little boy. Daddy was he had a cranial helmet on, couldn't walk. They put him, this is not him, but they put him on a tricycle like this. Now these tricycles, like Jim said, they have to be fitted by a therapist because they know what muscles need to be toned and what needs to be right. Your back needs to be distorted or this and that. So they put this 3-year-old little boy on a trike, and he hated it. He screamed the whole time that the therapist was putting him on. I don't know if you can see it, but there's straps for the feet, and some of them have little cuffs on the handle. They put that little boy on that trike, and Daddy pushed him down the aisle. There wasn't a dry eye in the house, and you could hear that little boy scream with delight. Look, Daddy, I'm riding. I was an AMBUC for life. Okay. I'm also one of the mothers that has a daughter with cerebral palsy. That in 1989, I needed to go to KU Medical Center so she could have her heel cord lengthened. I had no funds. They provided those funds with me just filling out a piece of paper. So that's what we do. We have a board of directors that we meet each month. We have to go and approve all the requests. The Amtrikes are approximately $600 to $1,900 a piece. Our club gives out approximately $25 to $30 a year. We also give out probably $20,000 worth of those funds that people need help. You know, when you have a child with a disability, or you have a mother or a father with a disability, and insurance doesn't take care of it, that's what we do. If the allotted amount that we have set by our board of directors doesn't cover what we work with the men's club, and they've been very good. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is my new wish list. My goal for this year as president, I'm trying to open up Salina so we can give more veterans and get them on bikes. This is our first veterans bike that we gave this year. He didn't want a bunch of people around because of his PTSD. And so, what an honor to watch him ride off on his bike. I probably have over-talked. I have information on the Veterans Initiative, but we are here. We meet every Thursday at Martinelli's. We have 61 people in our club, our chapter. We have a great time. We have people come in. We have Salina Shares. We've had DVAC. We support these programs as well, you know, through small donations. So we like to support them. I'm in awe of all of you, and I'm in awe of us because we're pretty awesome.
Okay, questions?
I have a question for Ashby House. I think I always thought that you took families if they were married. Is that not true? Or is it just women and children?
That's correct, and that's only at our shelter.
Okay.
If a man is with his family, he can come to the shelter. We don't do couples because we've had bad experiences with couples. But we will do a man with his children. We'll consider that a family as well. And in 25, we probably had 3 men and their children come stay with us at different times.
My question is both for Ashby House and DVAC. Is it a volunteer thing? So when you talk about, again, I'm in financial services or in banking for years. You're talking about working with individuals as far as who don't have a background or understand how finances work or banking. Are those volunteer positions for people to come in and help with that?
Yes, our financial literacy program, we have partnered with a few banks around town.
Okay.
And we actually have mentors that come to our facility to facilitate the class. And depending on funding, if they can complete our financial literacy class, there is an incentive that's involved in that. But it kind of depends on the funding that we get.
Yeah, I would say for DVAC, Carissa, she does volunteer coordination, and so she works with volunteers out in the community and professional volunteers, getting them involved with DVAC services and helping them, whether they want to work with clients, crisis work and things like that. We have like a training program for them, but she does majority of that, so.
Do they also help like with doing taxes, income, you know, doing their taxes and things like that, or do you have?
Yeah, Marlon, he does econ support group, and so he's able to kind of work with them on if they have any like questions that they have regarding any financial budgeting, taxes, things like that. He works with them with that.
Okay. And then Karen, a question, now you have some event coming up,
I'm sorry.
don't you have some AMBUC event coming up in
We
March?
do. Our only fundraiser per year is our Bit of a Teat auction, and it's March 1st. Our silent auction items are live. We work all year long on this fundraiser, and it's coming to light in just a week and a half.
Is that the one where you get to try each food out or something?
Yes, we
Okay.
have 12 vendors that come and provide menu options, and it's at the TPEC Center, and live auction items and silent auction items, and a lot of fun.
Okay.
I want to make a comment to the man on building the handicap ramp. They built one for my husband many years ago. I think it was the coldest day in the world. Do you think they would stop? No. They stood out there and worked in that cold wind. And so we asked them to tell us how much the lumber cost. They told us, and we paid for it. I mean, you know, it was a way of giving back, but staying inside the house and watching them work when it was so cold. And then I didn't know how to get in touch with him. I took that ramp down and stored it out of weather, but I got hold of him, and somebody came and got the lumber. Also, my husband had a transport chair, not a wheelchair. And as you come up off of that first bump, it's hard. My son was able to get a hold of some old traffic signs that were no good anymore. He put that on the bottom. It was a smooth move up. And I gave those 2 pieces to
We
him.
reused those.
Good,
Yeah,
good.
came in very helpful.
Good. Because it's hard when you've got your husband in front of you and you're trying to go up the ramp and get that first front on.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you used them.
Yeah, we work whether it's cold or not, because we have 3 or 10 on the waiting list almost all the time, so we
Well,
can't take much time off.
You worked awfully, that was a cold day.
Yeah.
And we live in the country, so nothing stopped the wind.
Yeah.
But we really appreciate it. He used it for many years. And then we disassembled it, put it into a barn so it was out of the weather.
Yeah, I'm glad we connected with you to reuse that.
But I'm glad you got to use old signs. And I'm gonna say this without knowing. I bet if you contacted different ones, they'd have signs that were aged, out of color, or dull. They might just
No,
hand them over. And it does make them.
good idea.
And we had to go from porch into the house, and that was quite a jump. And again, that's where the second one was used. Easier.
Deb, do you have specific days and times for dropping off stuff to donate?
We're open Monday through Friday, 10 to 5, and we can arrange times too if we need to, but most people just bring it during our business hours.
Did I notice? Okay.
Yeah, we can call you to see, do you need a table, you need something, you always have a list of things that you need?
We do. We usually have a list. We also have a list on our website. Right at the top, if you click on the current needs, it takes you to what we are needing most right now. So I updated that this week. So, yes. Thank you.
I'd like to ask, are there specific needs, slide shares has obviously said there's the other, or are there specific needs that we can help you with?
Sure, at Ashby House, we can always use paper products. We can always use, feminine hygiene products and different things like that. Children's underwear, new children's underwear and stuff like that. So we used to have a huge warehouse on Santa Fe, so furniture and things like that, not so much, unless we have somebody moving out and we can, kind of cut them the cost of getting furniture and stuff like that. If we have a home for it, we'll arrange to pick it up or you drop it off, and then we'll make sure it gets to where it needs to go. That way we don't have to store those things.
I would say, when you brought up children's underwear, I was like, oh yeah, that's on the list. Children's underwear, men's clothing, we have like a bargain basket, and so that's like a thrift store. Women's clothing, I'm trying to think. We always need shampoo, conditioner, toothpaste, that's a really big one that always goes out. And if there's any like furniture items, we just ask that you call and speak with Carissa to arrange that.
Bucks have any specific needs?
We're looking for members.
If anybody needs to volunteer some time, there you are. I
We're
think
plenty
all
to
of it
do.
would take volunteers.
At Ashby House, we do not turn away any volunteers. As a matter of fact, we have a volunteer group that comes twice a week, and they've been coming for probably 4 months, hanging sheetrock in our new shelter. So any kind of time that you have that you would want to come volunteer, we'll definitely have something for you to do.
Does that include weekends?
Yes, sir. I work on Saturdays, so Sundays could be a kind of a challenge, but I do work on Saturdays.
This is a question for Ambucks. I work with a group called Salina Area Veterans Assistance Group, and we had a meeting tonight, as a matter of fact. Sometimes we get some veterans that talk about ramps. Have you ever worked with the VA, had the VA pay for the ramp and you build it?
No, when people that qualify for a VA ramp, they usually, buy an expensive aluminum ramp and have it installed by professional installers.
Okay.
I mean, we'd be open to helping, anybody that wants a ramp qualifies for a ramp. We ask people if they're capable of paying for the lumber, that we'll use brand new lumber and it'll look a little nicer. But we don't turn anybody down, we'll build a ramp anywhere. And we'd be happy to cooperate with a situation like that, but the VA program, we've actually had a few of those ramps donated to us. They're a little bit hard to reposition somewhere else. You know, with lumber, you can cut it off a little bit or add to it a little bit. So they're a little bit challenging, but that's where the direction the VA has been, is putting the aluminum ramps in.
Okay, thank you.
Alright, can't see you very well. Okay, so, I'm Stacy. First of all, I applaud all of you for everything you're doing in your community. It is fantastic. As a survivor of domestic violence, I have a big heart for that. But I also own Kids Closet Consignment Sales, the whole company, and you have a sale here in Salina from one of my owners. I'm gonna connect you with her because she does not currently have a donation partner. And we have a donation piece of that. We not only have kids items, but we have adult items as well. And they're gently used items, so whatever can be utilized, I think that would be a good fit. So I'll make sure to connect you.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Have any of you had problems with the government shutdown, getting the funds that you might ordinarily have received that are not now?
With our Housing Plus program, the HUD funded program, there was a delay and we were kind of uncertain if they were going to continue it. But as far as 2026 goes, we are still going to get these funds, but 27 is another situation that we'll probably have to reapply.
With DVAC, we're more state funded than we are federal funding, and so it slowed us down a little bit in 2025, but we still were able to keep moving and supporting survivors with financial hardships and stuff. I'm trying to think. We also have a program with DVAC, Rapid Rehousing. I can't touch too much on it because I couldn't tell you much. That's just not my area of expertise. But I know that we have funding with housing and things like that.
We don't receive any state or federal funding. On the flip side of it, last fall when the SNAP recipients, when their funds were suspended, it kind of showed Salina Share's true colors, how we had an influx of people coming to Salina Shares for food, but we also had an influx of people donating food so we could meet that need. Even though it's not usually something we do, we were able to help a lot of families during that time.
I don't think we receive any state or federal funding, so we just hustle for our money.
What can the people do in the community to help you get funds to start this Veterans Tricycle program?
You know, we accept donations. We have some wonderful people that has helped pay for some of the Amtrak's, and we're very strong stewards of this money because we know that it's not always going to be there, but we want to make sure we help the people that need the help. So donations are always welcome. It's just what we do. We go out and take that money and then we take good care of it.
And how can they donate Okay, I'll start with you, Patrick. If they want to make, donate strictly to your organization instead of going through the Match Madness that's coming up in March, so that you have the money when you need it, can you tell them how they can donate?
And that is a great point, because those funds, you get a portion of those yearly. And so direct donations, you can go to our website, our Ashby House website, and you can donate there. You can definitely send money in. You can come to our facility and donate. Like I said earlier, we're primarily private donor funded. And so we get the HUD program, that's about it, and the ESG money. But yes, it's definitely more beneficial to us to get those funds donated directly to us.
Yeah, I would have to say the same as Patrick, is you can donate online. We have like PayPal and QR codes on there. If that's too much, sometimes our website, it makes me, I'm like, whoa, that's a lot. You can come in person, you can donate a check, whatever you're most comfortable with when it comes to donating. If you need to speak with an advocate over there on setting up a time to donate, anything like that, you can always contact us and we can work with you on that.
Ditto. I just, I happen to have this handy dandy postcard. It does have a QR code on it, but it takes you directly to our website to donate. So that's one way. Obviously, you can walk in or mail a check anytime.
I think with Ambucks, you could type in New Network Ambucks or Morning Ambucks in your computer, and it'll take you to a website and give you information. And I'm pretty sure the Chamber of Commerce has contact information for both of our clubs as well.
On the veteran thing, I just was curious, so is it for veterans that have disabilities, or is it just veterans in general who?
You know, it
want
depends
them
on,
there?
we serve veterans that have disabilities, but they don't have to be physical,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I've seen veterans with no arms, you know, and they steer it with their feet. I've seen them with no legs and they steer it with their hands. The bikes are built for the person receiving it. So if they don't have a therapist to help design with our, you know, our ability group, then Dr. Maria Rapp is also trained and she will help work with them. So, you know, disabilities are a weird word because you don't know where it's at.
Well, yeah, and that's what you said, mentioned PTSD, so it could just be a therapeutic.
Absolutely. And you know, one of the things I said before is sometimes it's just good for them to be out riding with their family, and they have not had that chance. And so this is a nice way to do it. I'm speaking to the VFW on March 11th at the Vet to Vet Cafe, trying to get involved there and bring it out in public more.
No more questions? I guess we'll end our evening, and if you want any, my voice carries. If you want any other information, be sure and see them this evening or stop back by the table for your sex trafficking and human trafficking information. And those that are capable, I would appreciate if you could put your chairs up on our rack. And if you have any friends that missed tonight, Mean Dean Productions will have it on his YouTube, Mean Dean Production. If you're a Granny Brigade member, you can catch it on our Granny Brigade page. Jan, do you have anything else to say? I want to thank you all for coming. I hope you learned a lot tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Pam.